Ladies and gentlemen, before we get into the podcast today, you can catch me on the road performing stand-up comedy. Always a good time. Sometimes not. But that's just the way the cookie crumbles. You know, some days the shows are fantastic, you know. A lot of men at the shows who know who I am. And then sometimes the shows are bad because there's a lot of old couples who have no idea who I am. So if you come to the show, you'll be making the performance a lot better. Let me read off these dates. Coming up, we are in Charlotte, North Carolina, December 12th through 14th. Then Raleigh, North Carolina, December 15th, one night only. Phoenix, Arizona, my first time ever in Phoenix, Arizona, January 9th through 11th. Then we got St. Pete, Florida, Comedy Creative down there, great little room, January 24th to 25th. Then in February, we have Appleton, Wisconsin, Janesville, Wisconsin, Providence, Rhode Island, Portland, Maine. Loads more dates up on the website. Everything is available at columtyrrell.com. Especially Appleton. Shout out to my fucking Green Bay Packers, my fellow Green Bay Packer fan base out there. Potentially, that is the Thursday of the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl's on the Sunday. Potentially, I'm not crazy, but potentially, if the Packers got into the Super Bowl on that Thursday, I could just, I'll stay. What I'll do is I'll do Appleton on the Thursday, go down to Janesville, which is closer to Illinois, do Friday, Saturday, and then I'll come back up and just experience the Super Bowl in that place. Now, realistically, I should be probably going to Detroit, but fuck Detroit, by the way. Fuck you. Fuck Detroit. I had no idea how shitty and fucky the Detroit fan base were. And the Packers lost last weekend. My beloved, my childhood dream, my childhood team, the Green Bay Packers that I've been supporting for, half-heartedly for about 9 years now. They lost to the Detroit Lions, and the fans were really shitty. I just didn't even notice. I've only experienced the last 9 years of NFL. So the Packers have been dominating the Lions, crushing, destroying them. The Detroit Lions are nothing. They were so irrelevant. They were off my radar. I didn't even realize there was a hatred there. You know when you hear about people who are like, "Oh, my bully used to pick on me." How many people are upset about a bigger kid who bullied them in secondary school? I bet you a lot of these people have gone up to their bully years later and go, "You really made my life a hell." And they go, "I don't even remember you. I thought we were just playing around. I thought I gave you a wedgie. That kid beat me up. My dad smacked me a couple of times. I thought it was all sort of just part of the ecosystem of everyone gets their licks. I wasn't even aware of you." And that's the way I've been with the Detroit Lions fan base. I had no idea that they were cunts. And you need a win. I get it. Your city fell apart. I was rooting for you. I had every part of my soul was like, you know what? Detroit needs a win. They don't have much. It was the biggest economy in America in the 1920s. Now it's like Syria. Now it is a war-torn hellhole. Right? Detroit is like. Did you ever see in an apocalyptic movie where they have 6 months after the nuclear explosion or whatever, and the grass is overtaking the buildings, and the buildings are starting to fall down and decay, and that's just what Detroit is now. They are living in that right now. We're a working class factory town. We're a working class. This is my problem. We're a working class factory. We're just a working class factory, blue collar city. Yeah, but all those jobs left 50 years ago. That wasn't last week. Fucking figure it out at this point. At this point, learn something else. Get into tech. Get into some, I don't know what. I know there's that content, it's like learn to code. Yeah. At first, that's bad. But after a while, you do have to do something. You go to these shitholes, you go, oh, what is there to do? You go, oh, we all just drink. That's because you have nothing to do. Do you have anything? Fucking Detroit, sell it to Canada. Fuck off. I couldn't believe it. They stole that game against the Packers, and then all of the fans were coming out just going, fuck you, fuck you. We weren't even on our radar. We had no idea that you even existed. So I fucking want the Lions to lose. And you will. You're a cheating scum. I've changed my whole... This time last week, I was singing your praises. Only to find out your fan base are a bunch of fucking Neanderthals, huh? We'll see. We'll see how long you can last. The cheating doesn't work. The cheating... How are you going to out-cheat the Chiefs, huh? You can't. You can't. You're going to fucking outflag the Chiefs? There's no way. And it's going to be nice. It's going to hurt you. It's going to hurt your fucking soul. Because you know what's going to be even better? The city needs it. Detroit needs a win. Eminem is gay, right? Your teams can't win shit. You've got nothing. You've got nothing. This would change the mentality of the city. This would mean that your fucking pain is over, and it's not going to happen. The world is a cruel place. The world is a fucking cruel place. Welcome to the Colum Tyrrell Podcast, everybody. Welcome to the Colum Tyrrell Podcast, everybody. Long time no see. This is my first time sticking on the camera to do one of these. I've been recording them just audio only. I tend to just prefer... We're not doing guests anymore. We told you about that. Maybe the odd time, if I really want to, I'll get a guest involved. But it's just a solo thing. And I just personally, when I'm doing them, I just prefer not to have a camera to look at. I feel like it's distracting. I feel like it doesn't make the podcast any better. There's a thing called, I think, Tommy Pope, my friendly little dirty Dago, the dirty wop. Tommy Pope was telling me before about there's like there's a red light syndrome or something. That's that, and there's loads of these people who can act, and as soon as they go action, they're like, I'm here to avenge my father. And I'm like that too. There's a little bit of fucking red light syndrome in the Colum Tyrrell genetics. Put me on stage, it's quite the opposite for some reason. Put me on stage, I love it. In front of a live audience, I love it. Put me in front of the camera and goes, action, go, be funny, but kind of hurts. Anyway, whatever about that. The point being is that there's a couple of, if you're watching on YouTube, there's a bunch of audio episodes available online if you've missed them. And I don't know what I'll do here. Maybe I'll do something where I record them audio and figure out some sort of a visual for people to look. I set up this green screen. Again, if you're listening on the audio, which I recommend, I did set up a green screen primarily for a sketch that I'm about to record in the background, but I actually don't know how to use it. That's, I should just live in a world of I should just be fucking mounting TVs and taking out AC units for chicks. That's really what my job should be. I should I was a truck driver for a long time, lifting couches. Truly, I've never excelled at that more in my life than when I just have to lift things. That's how far my fucking brain can go. But I've maybe right now I can green screen something on it in post. Green screen something now, Colum. And hopefully that's flashed up now. I don't know if it will work or not, but potentially I could do that, My friend Naeem Ali, my only black friend, he has a solo pod too, and he does a background like that. And I was thinking of doing it before him, so it's not stealing. By the way, even if it is, fuck you, I'm taking it. I'm stealing. I'm gonna steal your idea, black man, and I'm gonna monetize it. I'm gonna make it commercially viable. That's him texting me right now, actually. What are the odds of that? Me and Naeem. Funny motherfucker. Yeah, Naeem's a good dude. I like Naeem. I have to give him a ring. Actually, we're trying to record some shit together. Anyway, whatever. Anyway, shouldn't we bring up race right now? I want the American people to just relax with you're so emotional when it comes to race, and I guess you have to. I think that's probably easy as a white dude, but it's like there's so many of the things in this country that are I just looked at through the lens of race. Like, so there's this Daniel Penny kid, the big bulb-headed weirdo, weird-looking man. I feel like maybe you're told to, you know when you murder someone and they put you in prison and they put you in court and you like wear a cardigan or whatever, the cardigan defense. I'm just a goody little. I'm just a boy with pigtails. But I feel like he's like sort of scrawny. He's tall and skinny, and he's weird. He's weird looking. I think they should have put him in a wheelchair, or maybe put him on some steroids, get jacked, something. Maybe that's what they told him. Hey man, try look frail. Try look. Imagine you. Imagine. Has he been in jail this whole time, or did they give you an ankle bracelet? How does that work? When you murder someone on the subway, which is like every other day, by the way. I truly like, and I hope this is gonna come across as like I guess unempathetic. Like, you do feel sorry for some people, but at the same time, just so many people dying all the time. Every day there's someone murdered in New York City. It's odd that there's not someone killed on a train every other day. There must be. The subway is an insane situation. I've told that story before when this is who do I know? Stephen Rogers is a comedian, and I always find this fucking story very funny. He got attacked by a crazy man on the subway one time. The guy was, he's walking around, he has his shirt off. You know those type of crazy guys, and he's like going, "But you never had my bike. I wish someone would. You never had my bike. I'm gonna fly my bike. You know, he's rooting through the trash. Blah, blah, blah. Rosa Parks, mother bitch. You know, he's just scream like that. You know, those type of guys. And he went up to Stephen Rogers. Stephen Rogers is 5'2", a little gnome of a man, right? And he went up to Stephen Rogers and says something like "cracker ass," right? And this is a racial impression, but again, he is Stephen Rogers is a victim in this. So don't act as if I'm not allowed to make fun of this crazy man. He went up to Stephen Rogers, beep bop biddy bop boop, shoo wop biddy bop boop, and he. And he spat in his face. He spat in Stephen Rogers' face, and everyone's like, "Whoa!" or something, you know. Oh, jeez. He spat in Stephen Rogers' face, and I guess it got broken up. And then afterwards, he came back over, and and then he punched him in the face. He punched little Stephen Rogers in the face, and. I was like, why? How did he punch you in the face? He go, I thought he came back to apologize. He thought he came back to apologize. The crazy subway man. You got to say that about New York, is that there's crazy subway people, and there's a lot of violent people all the time. You do, first of all, the public transport, riding the subway in the morning, when you don't do it and you have to go back to it, you do start to go, oh, this is beneath me. It's almost fucking not allegory, but it is symbolism to like, you're down in the gutter. It's like Batman. Up high in the fucking penthouse, overlooking all the scum. You're down in the gutter with the rats and the smell and the homeless guy spitting in Stephen Rogers' face. That's what it is. So you're not getting the best of people. People aren't on the subway like, hey, what a great day. After you, sir. It's always like, get the fuck out of my way. I need to get home so I can fucking smoke, so I can vape THC. It's because I've seen some fucking crazy violence out there. Anyway, so when you hear about this white guy kills a black guy, you know, I don't give a fuck about the race involved. There was an altercation on the subway. Some dude choked out another dude, and then the chokey died. Right? Sounds to me, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know the information. I don't really give a fuck. but I do feel empathy for the people on the train that had to deal with the delay, you know, and I feel empathy for the Daniel Perry that he probably killed that guy. And then everyone was like, fuck you, dude. Like, everyone's like, you know, if you ever get a crash in New York City, people will slow down and roll down the window just to call you a cunt. They go, fuck you. Where'd you let to drive, you fucking cocksucker? Like, you can, your daughter is dead in the front seat of your car. you rear-ended someone. And they all drive past you going, fuck you, cocksucking fuck. They will shout at you. They will shout at you. And I promise you, Daniel, he had to go, oops, killed him. And he had his hands up and goes, sorry. And everyone's like, I'm fucking late now because of you. I'm fucking late. We can't just kill every crazy fucking black guy on a subway. We'll be here all day. We'll be here all day. It's not etiquette. There's subway etiquette in New York City. And you know, you fucking let the people off the train first, then you get on the train. If there's someone with a fucking limp, whatever, you know, if someone goes by jingling and jangling with a scratched up leg, you don't give them any money. You don't get money because you have a scab on your knee. You better swing. You better showtime, baby. You better sell some fucking stolen candy or something. You earn your fucking money. And you don't just kill a crazy fucking black guy. We be there for weeks. Right? The MTA has a tough enough problem without fucking Dollar Batman there slowing down the day. All right? If the black guy kills someone, so be it. We've written that into... That's been anticipated. That's been written into the MTA's algorithm when they're putting together the subway times, you know? When that says that they have that in the logistics of a day-to-day. They have crazy black guy killed someone. That's written in there. We don't have any allocated. There's no allotted time for a white savior killed Michael Jackson impersonator. That's not on the list. That fucks it up. Someone rings, you know, I don't know who the traffic controller is, and goes, we have a tall white guy killed a black Michael Jackson impersonator. And they go, we don't have that going through sheets. We don't have that. I mean, what do we do? That happens. I was on the train one time and a gun got pulled. I was on the train one time and a gun got pulled. Some dude was, again, I hate to bring race into it, some black guy was fighting with his girlfriend. We were on this fucking subway, somewhere down Canal Street. They pulled a gun, and then the two of them wrestled, and then he grabbed her and threw her to the ground, and the gun, like, slid across the ground. Like something in a movie, it slid across the ground. And at which point, I pretended I didn't see it, and I just stayed on my phone with my headphones in, and that's the way it works. And I don't know if you've noticed, but on a New York subway, if you ever press so we pulled up to a station, someone pressed an emergency stop. What they do is they keep the doors closed. It's this weird thing. It's almost like if there's a virus or something, you know, you find out there's a lab leak at a virus lab leak. You blow up the lab. Everyone in there dies within the lab. We can't let that get out. And that's the same with someone pulling a gun in New York City. If someone pulls a fucking gun in the carriage, they lock the doors and you just get killed by the gun. That's why I swear I was there. There's people screaming, "Let us off the train!" We were actually, I swear to God, I don't know if we were there for 60 seconds, but it felt like 5 minutes. We were all just sitting there in awkward silence, and she was crying, going, "Someone get this guy off me!" And I was like, "I'm not going down to the guy with a gun, right? I'm not fucking Kurt Reynolds or whoever is in fucking Death Wish, right? You chose him. In the lines of Bill Burr, you fucking chose him. There's no way. I do not want to be the next fucking Daniel Perry. At best, I'm getting pistol whipped. At best. There's no other situation there where I'm going to go, "Excuse me, sir, do you mind not hitting the girl?" If this guy pulls out a gun and is punching a woman in public, you're fucked. You're fucked, all right? Call me a coward all you want, but I didn't fucking learn Kung Fu. I'm not fucking Jackie Chan. But anyway, look, you know, all I'm saying is I do think everyone's overreading this stuff. You know, there was a fight on a subway. One of them died. One of them didn't. You know, it's like enough. It doesn't symbolize every single part of society, right? This isn't just like every single day major issue. It happens all the fucking time. And if it was two black dudes or two white dudes, no one would give a fuck, but they bring it in as if it's like some sort of racial fucking thing. I don't think he should kill him. I don't think he meant to kill him. Should he go to fucking jail for manslaughter? Possibly. I really don't know. I don't know the case. Evidently, they didn't have enough evidence. So who gives a fuck? You know, again, more people die. That one's going to stink. People die every fucking day. Why are we picking and choosing? You know, we pick and choose all the fucking time. People are just scared. Whatever. People are just scared. People are just scared of what's going on in the news. All right. Obviously, we got to talk about Luigi. I don't know what his name was. Luigi Mantioni. I don't have it written down, but Luigi. Shout out to Luigi. That's the first time that ever worked right. Did that even record? No, it did, yeah. Shout out to Luigi, the Christmas killer, the CEO killer. He got caught. Sad. I feel like it was a very anticlimactic ending. Again, someone spotted him. A little bit of a rat. I don't like it. I would have likened him to have maybe he was grow, because this is fun. Again, this is in the same vein. I don't really give a fuck that someone died here. You know what I'm saying? Like on paper, it's like, sure, the individual losing a life and anyone, suffering to violence is always like, we don't condone it. But at the same time, it's like, I can't like give a fuck. I don't have enough time. My Instagram's not growing. I've got a podcast that was due a week ago. Like I've got shit going on. I got my fantasy football team to fucking change. You know, I'm like, we can't just slow down and start caring about the death of other humans. It's crazy. What's next? Kill the Palestinians or the Israelites, or what else are we going to care about here? What's next? Kids dying is probably the only thing you could really stop and go, I give a fuck. If this CEO killed, if Luigi shot a child, sure. But then you got to say, what about all the cons who pay insurance, fucking health insurance their whole life? Their kids get cancer and then they get fucking denied the treatment. What about that? Isn't the murder on the hands of your business? I'm no fucking liberal. But there's got to be a better healthcare system. There's just got to be. There's got to be a better option out there. I grew up in a country that had free healthcare. It was better. I promise you it was better. He released a manifesto. The sexy Italian. He's going to be knee deep in clunge. He's going to be say what you want about these blue-haired lesbians or whatever you always call them. A lot of them are smoking hot. A lot of them have fucking tattooed ankles and their nipples pursed and they have their sexy yoga bodies. A lot of these hips. Where's my conservative brethren out there? You don't have to relax. You're allowed to fucking admire them. A white chick with dreads and what, a septum and some like, they can be fucking sexy. I reckon that Luigi kid's about to be getting his fucking... He's going to be having sex one way or the other, consensual or not. He's about to be getting a lot of fucking... although I don't think they... Do they fuck him in prison? Will they fuck him in prison? I don't think they would they? Because he's not a pedo. Do they only fuck... Is there anyone... I should ring Naeem. Is there any... Do regular folk... Do regular folk get fucked in prison, or is it only like sexual offenders? I don't know. That would suck. That would really suck if you're like a good looking, like just, you know, you're arrested for embezzlement or. Wait, what's this? Why is this? Oh, sorry, I pressed. This is lit up for some reason. Why is that lit up? I've no idea. Sorry. Hopefully. Sorry. I'm producing my own podcast here, guys. It's very DIY. Back to the wall. No studio. No sidekick. No episode of It's the Riff Brothers. What if the shooter was a sassy black woman? I ain't getting no haircut. The Riff Brothers. Part 2 on Patreon. Which is exactly what I do. But he wrote a manifesto. He wrote a manifesto, blah, blah, blah. And people are saying that, like, and I know Elon Musk tweeted something saying that, like, a reminder that anything that requires the labor of another human is not a human right. But isn't the access to food a human right? Isn't the access to shelter a human right? Like, where does that come from? Does that mean caves because we were only allowed caves? Anything that was built you're not allowed? Food? The access of food that's a human right. Where? I'm like, you want me to go catch a fucking deer? Like, what are you talking about? All I know is, right, and I'm a capitalist. I'm all for fucking, you know, working hard and earning money. But there's a couple of regions where it becomes unethical. If you want to sell me a fucking designer handbag and I'm dumb enough to buy it, great, go make your money. If you invent a fucking computer chip that scans the retina of people walking by your store so that you can fucking track them or whatever, you go invent it. You go do it. I don't give a fuck. You want to be a door-to-door fucking pen salesman, go make your money. But there's a couple of things that are fucking... That's when it comes to people's health and survival, it gets kind of... It gets dodgy. It gets a little fucking dodgy. Because the fucking outcome, it's not like, hey, tough shit. He said in the manifesto, right, that it was like, America spends the most on healthcare in the world and is 42nd ranked in mortality or something like that. And that's because everyone's a fat cunt out here. And whose fault is that, by the way? Why is everyone a fat cunt? Is that because the businesses are so good for everyone? Or is it because the car industry lobbied to make sure that there's no way to walk anywhere? You have to have a fucking car. Maybe it's because every single fucking bit of food in America has 1,000 fucking calories. Maybe because everywhere you drive in America, it's a fucking Chick-fil-A, Burger King, Arby's, on repeat over and over again, McDonald's, Buffalo Wild Wings, over and over and over again. But I saw a counter argument that the reason America has the most fucking healthcare is because they spend America has the most expensive healthcare is because they have the most money. And you go, yeah, but not everyone has money, dickhead. Not everyone has the money. That's the problem. The problem is if you have a lot of money and then you get cancer, you can get fucking treated for it. And if you can't, you're fucked. That's the fucking major problem of it all. And it's not the same. It's not the same as other industries. It's not the same as, hey, you've got no money. Unfortunately, you can't get a Jaguar. You have to get the bus. Because that's fine. Fine. Be poor. You don't get Michelin star food. You get fucking leftover chicken that you stole from a dumpster, right? That's what you get. Whatever it is. You don't get Louis Vuitton. You get Kmart. Bullshit. Fucking whatever. You know what I mean? But when it comes to health, there is no that. You can't say, sorry, you don't get the treatment. You die. And then they fucking rub their hands together. The health insurance industry is tied together with Big Pharma. They're the same. They're two of the same. They're one of the same. So if you're an anti-vaxxer because you don't trust big pharma, you better be a fucking anti-health insurance. You should be. You can't have fucking both. You can't be the anti-vaxxer and then also love the fucking health industry. It's the exact same money-making machine. Right? I know a lot of conservative fucking retards. I wouldn't get vaccinated. And then suddenly going, who do you expect to pay for your treatment? Pick a fucking side and stick to it. You fucking rat. And I'm glad. I've changed my mind throughout this podcast. I'm glad this guy got killed. Right? Who else are we going to do? It was against the system. That's what they say. They took out that one guy, but they have to take out the system. Yeah, but who's the system? Right? Who's the fucking system? He had a manifesto, by the way. I don't know what a manifesto is. What is the actual fucking definition of a manifesto? What's the difference between a manifesto? Because he wrote a 250 manifesto. Also, how did he get those abs? How did he get these? How did he become a little daddy? Luigi daddy. What I was saying actually about the whole thing and when he got caught too, and sensationalist. What I was thinking, I would have likened a mask in there. I would have likened a beard. I wonder, is there a detective somewhere that we could get on the pod? Maybe we get some information. It's how could he have gotten away with this crime? What was the issue here? I think the issue was there's a problem that he shot this guy at 7 o'clock in the morning when the streets of New York are relatively empty. So the tracking someone on cameras was very, very easy. Witnesses was very easy. He got into that. He threw all his stuff in the middle of the park. He abandoned his bag in the middle of a bush. You got to throw it in a dumpster. That's crazy. You got to go to the back of a big store, throw it in the dumpster. You got to figure that out. He was caught with a very similar gun. Fairness, not bad. Yeah, if you're not to carry a gun. What is a manifesto? What is it? Okay. A manifesto is a written statement that publicly declares the intentions, motives, or views of an individual group, political party, or government. What's the difference between a manifesto and a business statement? What's the manifesto? You don't hear of a startup, energy saving startup releases manifesto. You don't hear this shit. A public declaration? Yeah, I don't know. What's the difference between a manifesto as a written declaration of intentions, motives, and views of the issuer, be it individual group, political party, or government? A manifesto can accept previously published opinion or public consensus, but many prominent manifestos, such as the Communist Manifesto of 1848, that's interesting, and those of various artistic movements, reject accepting knowledge in favor of a new idea. So a manifesto is like a new idea. It's like this hasn't been said before or something. Manifestos relating to religious beliefs are generally referred to as creeds. Yeah, you always hear that, don't you? Apollo Creed. They always say, everyone's welcome, no matter race, sexuality, or creed or something. There's an expression like that where they always say, man, woman, we don't discriminate by race or sexuality or creed. There's a thing they always often, they lob in creed there, which is, here we go. Notable examples of manifestos. The Declaration of Independence. Is it a manifesto? I don't know. The Communist Manifesto by Karl Marx. Wow, Marxy. I'm not gonna lie. That's a huge hole I have in terms of intelligence and information is like, what is Marxism? I really don't. I learned it. I learned it in college. I remember learning it for an exam about Marxism and all this type of shit, but I just don't remember any of it. And people, they always bring it up, and it always comes up in conversations about Marxism and stuff, and I have to go, and I just dip. Mein Kampf. That's a novel. Isn't that a book? What's the difference? Isn't that like a novel? Isn't that like a silly... I thought that was like parody. Isn't that like a parody book? Adolf Hitler, he's like joking about stuff. Industrial Society and Its Future by Theodore John Kaczynski. Hell yeah, shout out to Theo. The Agile Manifesto by Martin Flower. Never even heard of this one. What's this one? The Agile Software Development is an umbrella term for approaches to developing software. I don't get it. I'm not getting into that. Oh, that just reminds me. I watched, what did I watch? The Girls Gone Wild. Girls Gone Wild. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I'll talk about that on the Patreon after. Anyway, listen, he got caught. You know, it was fun. It was a fun little thing while it happened. Do I believe that this could become a modern day thing? Sure. Would I like to see more creative assassins? Yes, I would like to see a lot of stuff. I'm already thinking, if I was to kill someone, and let's just say Geico Insurance, because they're often on TV. If I was to kill the CEO of, and this is parody, please, YouTube, because they'll take me down. They've taken me down for this shit in the past. My suggestion in the past for the way the government to work is like, what you do is we allow capitalism, and you're allowed to be a billionaire, but there's only a limited amount of billionaires allowed, okay? And every year it needs to go down by one. So if you're a billionaire, that's fine. But at the end of the year, on New Year's Eve, there's a draw. They put all the billionaires' names into a hat. You pull out one of the billionaires, and he gets executed, or she, potentially. Hopefully someday, they'll get executed like at an arena, like a New Year's Eve show. And in a fun way, where like 100 kids have baseballs and they throw them at their head while they're tied to a wall or something. And it'll be pay-per-view event. We'll make money. Jake Paul will host, and it's the annual New Year's Eve billionaire beheading. Who will it be? And then when they get killed, we inherit their assets and their money and all of the billions, and then that goes towards, school funding, education for kids, or maybe just children's hospitals, maybe something like that. Make a wish. I don't know what the charity is, but I think we'd be all happy with that. I think that's not the end of the world. There's 1,000 billionaires? How many billionaires are in America? There must be about 1,000. How many billionaires USA? Here we go. Yeah, there's 756. Those are good odds. Those are good odds. You made that money somehow unethically. We know that. We know there's something going on for you to become a billionaire. You don't become a billionaire just handing out free samples with a good business idea. I just had a good idea. No, you fucking use slave labor in Africa to make fucking cocoa beans or something, and now you own Starbucks. There's something like that, right? There's something involved. There's some sort of African country mining the shit that goes in batteries so that your phones can be made. There's something going on here. Oh, you created a social network, a social media site so that you can read all our data and sell it to marketing. I get it. There's something going on. And that's fine. I don't care. Life's too short to fucking give a fuck about anyone else. Truly, life is just too short. Who gives a fuck? We all have our goals. And yours is world domination, but one of yous will die. And it's a 1 in 756 chance. It's a big, huge thing, a ball. And we could do it slowly. We could really drag it out over the course of the night, The next 100 names listed will not be executed. And then Jeff Bezos. And everyone goes, boo. Bezos, Elon, Zach. There's a bunch of these fuckers up there. Warren Buffett would be so fun to see electrocuted. It would be a good time for us. So that was my mission. So I'm just saying, next time I see a CEO assassin, you know what I'd like to do is like in Russia, where they would do the thing where they'd stick the poison on the inside of your hand and you go up to shake his hand. That would be fun. All right. Geico Insurance. Is Geico even a major player? Geico Insurance. You go up and you shake the CEO's hand. You dress him as a waiter. You're an hors d'oeuvres or something, and you shake their hand. Can I just say what you're doing right now? Can I just say, sir, I know. That's what you do. You dress, it's like Ocean's 11. You're dressed as a waiter. You're walking around in hors d'oeuvres. You see the CEO of Geico, and you walk up and you shake. They go, sir, in this world right now, it's so dangerous for you. I want to say, I really like what you're doing. And you shake their hand, and then you walk away. And then by the time you're in the alleyway getting changed into like a UPS something, you pull off your mustache. He's there. He's foaming at the mouth. That's a great way to kill someone. That's a fucking good one. That's a good one. I said this on the Patreon, I think. If you're gonna I think a Santa Con murder would be great. The exact, almost like a replica of this, but you're doing it at 2:00 in the day during Santa Con in New York City. There's no way they'll catch you. You just gotta go off into a sea of Santas. That's all you gotta do. You pull out a fucking gun and you hide. The cameras can't catch you. The cameras can't catch you. You go into a bar. You maybe start a fight. That's what you do. You go into a fucking Irish bar and you just start swinging punches and whatever. I think there's something there. There's something there with the Santa Con idea, right? Even put it in a movie or something. But there's something there if you're planning. I can't think of anything else that a good assassination attempt like that. Cut the brakes or something like that. That's kind of a little too Hollywoody, but you know what I'm saying? Like it's you know, the states with the most billionaires is Florida, 78. I wonder why that is. 2020 there was 614 billionaires. In 2023 there's 750. That's great. That's good to know. That is good to know. All right, let's get some questions read from the Patreon. Shout out to the 1008. Oh, we got the merch. I'm wearing it right now. Check that out. Isn't this a lovely little design? I bet you thought it was like a firehouse or something shirt. This is the local 1008 that was designed by the fans in the group chat over on Patreon. Patreon, only $1 a month. Sign up. The apps are a little bit of whatever. Anyway, so if you want to get this shirt, they're not for sale right now. I'll probably put them on sale eventually someday, but as of right now, the only way to get one of these shirts is one of these t-shirts is to send in your questions for the show, and if they get read on the episode, we pick the best one for the month, and whoever was the best question of the month gets a free shirt. So we have the entire month list that I got to post on Patreon. So head over to Patreon, get your questions in, and they can be read on the show. Also, like I said, and thank you for doing this. Since I've been fucking mad about it, people have changed the type of questions that they're asking. They used to always just be, favorite pizza? Now it's a little bit more drawn out. It's like, hello, Colum, I'm a 37-year-old man from this country, and la 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 la. You know, it gets a little better. No need to be fucking rude about this shit. All right. All right, let me see about the question here. All right, we found it. Fuck me. This one comes in from Waylon. Just wailing around. Hey, Collie, hope you're doing all right. Love the pod. What's one thing that, as a parent, you will do differently than your parents did for you? One thing you will keep the same. All right, good question, Waylon. Appreciate it. what would I do differently? Probably raise them financially literate. That would be maybe good, which wouldn't be me. That would be my wife's job. But so, there's certain things I reckon you got to weigh up. Well, obviously, I'm not going to fucking hit him or anything like that. But that was a different time. And it was a friendly hitting. It was never a beating. I never got beat. I never fucking winced in pain every time I heard my dad come home drunk. I never cried, hid under the bed. when fucking Manchester United lost a game, I didn't have to go hide because dad had alcohol on his breath. But a little less hitting probably, but the hitting back was I think it was more of an emotional torture, which sounds worse actually. I think raise them to be a little bit more financially literate, not really from a family. I believe I'm not from a family that's great with money. Not great at earning money, not great at saving money, not really. And that's just different generations, A few years ago when I started using Robinhood, I reckon I was probably the first person to ever invest money in my family nearly. So I'll probably try to do that. But that's me just stepping away. That's me looking at my wife, and she's very good at that. My wife-to-be is very good at... I'm not. I just put things on the credit card, never pay it off. I just ram for it. I don't think about the ramifications. I've always had this weird belief, and it's kind of... This is the hard problem about being in your mid-30s. I always thought comedy was going to work itself out. I always believed that stand-up comedy would work itself out. That was my idea, that I would just become rich, eventually. So I was like, even though I didn't have money now, I always thought it would come around the corner. And you know what? It's not really working out at all. So now I'm really facing the I'm facing the ramifications of being a unprepared idiot. Although I will say this, I had the biggest year of my life in stand-up comedy this year. I made more money this year than I've ever done before, which is probably, I don't know, the same as a base level corporate job, I reckon, if even. If even. But maybe next year, double the money, add 10 grand. We're talking 100K a year, baby. That's all I got to do. Double the money every year. You just got to double the money every year. So yeah, I think I'm financially illiterate, and I think that comes down to my parents. What else would I do? They never spoiled me. They never had the money to spoil me. And as now that I'm older, I appreciate that. Christmas is here. And in America, it's the gift. It's the season of giving everyone shit. And you're like, what? Why do you deserve anything? I can't believe it. I see people fucking open a present and go, "That's not the bathrobe I wanted. That's a different $800 bathrobe." And it's like, how fucking insane! You're fucking 30. Not truly cannot stress this enough. No gifts. No gifts over the age. No gifts anymore. No more gifts. Right? It's like truly grow up, buy your own shit, figure it out. I'll buy my niece's shit and that's it. And then when I go home to Ireland, I'll buy my parents something because they're hosting Christmas. That's the move. Regular gifts. You show up at a house party, you bring a pie, you bring fucking wine, you bring something. I don't know what it is, but you never show up empty-handed. That's different, right? But the idea of I really want to watch, will you buy me a watch, is fucking outrageous. Figure it out. I grew up okay for Christmas, right? We had Santa Claus presents, but we didn't have parents' presents, and that was when you knew you were rich in Ireland. If you got presents from Santa and your parents, we were like, woo, la-di-da, who works for Goldman Sachs? My family was, you got one gift from Santa, and the common thing used to be that everyone would get a bunch of gifts, and they would get 2 games from Santa Claus, and I always got 1 game. That was it. And I used to be so mad. that people would walk in, they would have FIFA and they would have Madden, and I had to choose between them because for some reason Santa didn't give us as much. And I never asked. I go, what the fuck is going on here? What is going on here? But now I'm older, I'm like, what a fucking crazy thing to do to your parents. The amount of money my parents spent on me, on shit, on fucking shit. I remember I wanted to learn how to play guitar, and my mom was like, no, it's just going to be another one of your hobbies you take up and you stop. And I said, please, no, it's not going to be like that. And she's like, I swear we can't afford it. The lessons are expensive. A guitar is expensive. We don't have that money right now. And I was like, please, please, please. And she goes, you have to promise me you'll fucking take it up and learn it. And I go, yes. And we went out and we bought a guitar, and it was shit. It was a shit piece of guitar, actually. It was a shit guitar. And then I went and did lessons, and I remember I did like 2 semesters or something similar of lessons. And then she was like, all right, when's lessons coming back? And I go, honestly, I'm playing football. I said I don't really like them. And she was so mad at me. And I still to this day, the guilt in my fucking stupid little, what of a fucking little bitch was I? It's so outrageous. I am still to this day. Every time I see my ma, I go, I'm sorry about that. Because they needed it. That was money that they fucking needed. And I begged them, please. And then they did it. Because, your parents, they want the best for their kids. So they do what it is. And then immediately. When I was younger, we used to get clothes for Christmas. This was, I reckon, I don't know if we were just really poor, but I think there was the idea of fast fashion nowadays with H&M and all these dumb fucking places where you just go through clothes really quickly. I don't think it really existed back then. I don't think those cheap ass shirts and stuff were really there. Either that or we just didn't have that much money. But I would get seasonal clothes. You'd get your summer clothes and you'd get your Christmas clothes. And your Christmas clothes were usually just new clothes for you to wear on Christmas Day, maybe Christmas Eve, maybe St. Stephen's Day. At most, 2 pairs of everything. And that was your new wardrobe. And I remember getting home one year from going into the city with my mother. She used to bring me in on our own, and we would go shopping, and she would bring me to all these places, and she knew where all the good clothes was, the cheap clothes was, and she'd make sure that the clothes fit, or she'd buy me shirts and stuff that were too big for me because you'd grow into it. Or if it was a shirt was on sale but it was a little too small, she'd no, it fits you. You'd have to go to school, dressed in some pants that your ankles are showing. And I remember one year we came home. I was young though. I was young at the time, younger than 10 for sure. And I put on this tracksuit that she bought me, and I was going outside. This was before Christmas, so it must have been right around this time of year. And I was going outside to play with one of my friends, and she goes, "You're not allowed to play in that clothes." And I go, "I'm just trying to be outside." And she goes, "You're not allowed to play in your brand new clothes. We just got it for you. You got to save it for Christmas." And I go, "No, I'll be fine. I won't get it dirty. I promise. I won't play." And we went out. She goes, "No playing football. You play football, you're going to get on soccer, if you play football, you get your fucking pants dirty." And I go, "I promise." I went outside and I said, "I can't play soccer. Can't play football." So then we had a game of chasing, just tag chasing. And I ran up the road and I fell off the curb, and I fell and I ripped a big hole in the pants, and I was bleeding my elbow. When I was younger, my elbows were just cut all the time from just fucking running around and falling. And I remember going back inside, and just the look on her face. This kills me to this day. Of all the things I've ever done, the look on her face of when she saw that, and I could just tell. It just broke her heart. I truly feel terrible. I've this is the type of shit I'd bring up in therapy probably, where it was I was 8 years old. So what am I? I'm 34 now. So it was fucking years ago. And to know now, because this was pre-credit. There was no such thing as just put it on the credit card. More money came in. People were just fucking making ends meet, fucking month to month. Paycheck to paycheck, just getting by. Where the idea of spending €100 on clothes was a big fucking deal. They didn't have the money. They had to save. My parents would have saved. To me, it's outrageous, this idea. But the idea that they would weekly save $5 a month or something, so that they could have Christmas presents at the end of the year. Like, they would have that in the yearly budget. Like, for me, it's just like, I just wait till December and then I just slap it on a credit card and then I don't pay that back. And then eventually one day I get a big paycheck. Every now and again I get a good payday through comedy and I just fucking clear the thing. Right? But the idea of putting away $5 every fucking week so at the end of the year my kids can have gifts is insanity. And that look on her face, Jesus Christ. Fucking, damn it. I really need to do better. I need to get better at stand-up comedy and figure this fucking shit out because I owe my parents a fucking lot. Don't get me wrong. Listen, they did their best. They weren't fucking perfect, but one thing I will keep the same. So that's what I will do different a little bit. No, that's what I want to say. I want to raise my kids to not be spoiled, right? That'll be difficult because I am marrying into a real spoiled kind of family. Which, each to their own. I wasn't spoiled because we didn't have the option, but I'm gonna try be like, no, you don't get no gifts. I'm gonna be a real bah humbug of a dad. No, you want to fuck, go buy it, go figure it out yourself. You're not getting my fucking Patreon money. Absolutely not. Go dance on TikTok, right? There's kids all over the world working again now, right? We've brought back child labor thanks to TikTok. One thing I would think keep the same, absolutely, which would be difficult too with the family. This is the problem. You marry into families. You've got your pros and your cons of every family. But one thing I would do with my kids would be making them very independent. I've got a brother who lives in Australia. I live in America. I got a sister. She lives in Ireland now, but she did live in the Caribbean for like 12 years. So everyone in my siblings was raised, independently. From a young age, we were made do shit, and we're all very capable, and we all want to be on our own. Sometimes you meet because we're Irish, we're not Italian. We don't give a fuck. We don't like. I never sucked on my mother's tits. You know what I mean? So, that's what I would raise them. I'd raise them to be independent, to be like, get the fuck out of here, survive on your own. You don't need anyone. That's kind of just the only mentality. All right, well, I took that question very seriously for a fucking comedy podcast. I have a question about having kids for you. How do you choose what team your kids support? Right? I'm in New Jersey right now. We're probably actually almost closer to the Eagles, to be honest, than the fucking Giants. But they're a Giant household. Now, I'm on the Packers, so I don't give a fuck. I think the rule should be, because a lot of people grow up, it's always weird when you meet that one kid and he supports a random team from the other side of the country, and you're like, what? Why? And like, well, my dad's from that area, and then they moved here, whatever, and we hand it down. But it's also like, do you want your son to have a fucking different fan base than you? I don't know how it works. I don't know. I think you got to just let your kids choose their own one. As long as it's local. This is. I'll give them the option, right? So let's say I'm a Packers fan, and I'm not even a diehard Packers fan. I'll admit that. I semi-watch it. But I'd like my son to be a Packers fan, because then you have that bonding. But I'll give him the option of a local team. Right? If by any chance, so for some reason we're living in fucking Denver, you have the option for the Broncos, then it's Packers. I'll give you that. But you don't get any other team. That's crazy. You can't just fucking pick the fucking Jacksonville Jaguars for no fucking reason, right? But that's how do you pick those teams? What do you think? If you're from fucking New York and then you move to LA, are you forcing your kids to be Yankees fans? It's just like, that's the household? All right, we got time for another question, and then I'm going to head over to the Patreon. Part 2 on the Patreon. Let me see. Where's this guy? The question came in from Brandon. All right, here we go. Hey, Collie, love the show. Shout out the 1008 or whatever you're subtly charging now. Here's a question only you can answer. By the way, the 1008, it's 1008 for the year. If you sign up for the year, there's a discount, and the biggest discount I could give was like 15% or something. So that $12 becomes 1008 or something like that. If you're getting charged more than that, that's because of Apple changed their fees or Patreon changed their fees or something. I had nothing to do with that. As far as I'm aware, and I've posted about this, as far as I'm aware, is if you purchase Patreon onto the desktop or through an Android app, you will pay less than someone who purchases the exact same content through the Patreon app or through the Apple Store. As far as I know. If I'm wrong, sound off in the comments, please, folks. All right, here we go. How on earth can I tell when a woman is actually interested in me? Just assume they all are. That's the goal. That's just the assumption, and that's just the way it is. Chances are that like they are. Do you know what I mean? The art of the deal, my friend. That's how I've always lived my life. Especially with 4 or 5 drinks of me, she's into me. And it works. You blindly believe that they are into you, and they'll reject you. But there's no worse. I don't think rejection is a bad thing. You know, it's a bad thing standing in the corner going, oh, I wish I could talk to the girl. No, you walk up to her and go, what's the deal with you sitting on my face, huh? Did you ever get your ass eat? That's how I would do it. I'd have 8 pints and a couple of Jaeger bombs in me, and I would just go up to them and go, who wants to regret some stuff? And, you know, if you ask 6 girls, one of them's going to say, fuck it, I want my hair pulled. You know, it is what it is. So that's my assumption now. From now on, just figure it out. Go to a hypnotherapist or whatever. A hypnotherapist, if that's even the word, and get them to fucking dangle a stopwatch in your face and say every single woman on earth finds you attractive. And that's all you got to do. As long as you believe it, it will start. It will catch on. They go, why is this buck-tooth, ugly, smelly Irish man so confident around me? It's naively. All right. I always default to they for sure hate my guts and find me as sexually attractive as their grandmother. Only to later hear, what the fuck, dude? She was into you. So what? So there you go. There's exactly. Risk it for a biscuit, my friend. Make no mistake about it. At the end of the day, look, and this is the truth. If you could turn out to a chick and go, yo, what's the deal with me and you, huh? Is that something? Is that something? Are you picking up what I'm putting there? Is that something? Or am I crazy? Am I crazy? If you were to rate me crazy, how crazy am I? So there's a chance. No, I didn't put something in your drink. Just drink it. Just drink the fucking... why not try that? Just go for it. Just ask questions later. That's my motto. And at the end of the day, if you get rejected by a woman, it's only a broad. They're not your peers. They're your suburbanites. Suburbanate. I don't even know the word. That's how dumb I am. Trying to be misogynistic about women being dumb. They're my suburbanites. Yeah, that happens sometimes. I've never heard that. I'm quite the opposite of that. Only to later hear, what the fuck, dude, she was into you. Genuinely, I do have this part of me that just goes, chicks are into me, bro. I do. And it works. It's naive and it's cocky and it's crazy, but I just, I go, yeah, she's into that. She wants this. So what signs should I be looking for that will get me in the end zone? No signs. Forget about your signs. Be direct, be blunt, and go, what's the deal with you letting me fuck you with a condom? Start there. That's your base. I'll fuck you with a condom. Does that sound fun? And she goes, okay, and go, how about no condom? How about the second time, no condom? And then when she's on, I go, you're a creep, fuck off. You go, so what? So what I am. Welcome to the jungle, baby. These are the rules. So what signs should I be looking for that will get me into the end zone, if you will? I don't know. Touching you, looking you in the eye, close to you, responds to you. You make her laugh, you make her giggle. Tell her this stupid joke. Do a giggle, do a little dance. I don't really know. Is she looking at you? That's fucking half the battle, bro. I'll hang up and listen to your answer off air. What? What the fuck does that mean? I'm extremely tired of jacking off. Help me, Collie One Kenobi. All right. That's a new one. Collie One Kenobi. All right. Are you flirting, you little freak? You might be my only hope. All right. Good question, Brandon. I answered the question. You go in. Doesn't matter. The rule is, do you find them attractive? That's it. Don't even question if they're into you. Forget about it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Friendship with a woman's not a real thing. Friendship with a man is not a real thing. There's no such thing as friendship. There's no such thing as judgment. There's no such thing as anyone caring about what you do. At the end of the day, all that matters is you getting your nut off. And you go up to these bitches and you go, you are into me. I can feel it. And you might be wrong and you might look like a dickhead, but you might be right. You might be fucking right. You know what I mean? Babe Ruth, most strikeouts in Major League Baseball, but he also has the most home runs. All right, I'm heading off to Patreon. I want to talk about Wicked and the big green black witch. Take it easy. Thank you. Good luck.
Earlier, we talked to Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Let's go now to that interview. Folks, there's Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Jeff, a while back, what a match you had with Motley.
Yep. Probably the hardest match I ever had in my life. But I don't like it when things aren't going my way. Motley Cruz, you turn the tables on me. You turn the tables in a wrong way. You got me mad now. I've stood around, I've listened to everything you had to say. I did everything necessary. But when you turn around and you backstab me one way or another, and you cheat me out of what's rightfully mine, that's when I get angry. Now I'm the one doing the challenging. I'm issuing a challenge to you, Motley Cruz. Get in the ring with me. This time, I'm going full force.
Jumpin' Jeff Farmer. Now let's go to the ring.